Okay, so you've been trying to study, and let's be honest. What's the first thing that hits? That blank stare into your book like it's written in another language. Your brain's tired, your focus is gone, and everything you just read? Already forgotten. But here's the thing. This time, we're doing it different. You're about to become that student. Calm, sharp, in control. The one who actually remembers while everyone else is cramming in panic. This isn't some unrealistic productivity reel. This is real, doable, brain-boosting strategy that finally makes your efforts stick. So get comfy, grab your notebook, or coffee, we don't judge. Stay till the end, and let's turn your study chaos into confidence. So the very first thing you need to understand is that most people don't actually know how to study. They just open their books, highlight some lines, maybe reread the same paragraph 10 times, and hope that somehow their brain will catch it. But studying doesn't work like that. Your brain doesn't remember things just because you stared at them long enough. You need to be intentional. Before you even sit down, know what you're about to study, how much you're going to cover, and most importantly, why you're doing it. That why changes everything. If you're just doing it to get it done, your brain won't care. But if you tell yourself, I'm about to master this topic, suddenly your focus locks in differently. So instead of studying for hours, start small. Focus for just 25 minutes, take a break, and come back again. That rhythm trains your brain to show up fully, not just physically, but mentally. Because let's be real, it's not about how long you sit. It's about how much your brain actually takes in. The ones who know how to study smart, they win. And trust me, once you fix how you study, everything else starts to fall into place. But listen, don't go anywhere yet, because in the next tip, I'm going to tell you exactly why you keep forgetting everything, even when you feel like you've studied perfectly. And that's where it gets real. So here's the part no one really tells you. The reason you keep forgetting everything, even after hours of studying, isn't because you're dumb or lazy. It's because your brain isn't being trained to recall anything. See, we spend so much time putting information in, but almost zero time pulling it out. And that's the trick. Memorization doesn't happen when you read. It happens when you recall without looking. The more you test your brain, the more your brain knows, oh, this must be important. That's why active recall is a game changer. Don't just read your notes. Close the book and ask yourself, what did I just learn? Can I explain it in my own words? Can I write it down from memory? It'll feel slow and awkward at first, but your brain is literally rewiring while you're doing it. The more uncomfortable it feels, the more powerful it becomes. That's how long-term memory is built. Not by staring, but by struggling a little. And trust me, once you switch from reading to retrieving, your marks, your confidence, and your speed, they all level up. And if that sounds like a glow up already, just wait. Because in the next tip, we're diving into the real secret behind locking this information into your long-term memory. The trick that separates forgetters from retainers. Here's something you probably never thought about. Your brain doesn't store everything equally. It chooses what to keep and what to delete. And what it keeps is based on one thing: repetition. Not random repetition, but spaced repetition. That means you don't just study something once and forget about it. You come back to it at specific intervals. The first time after a few hours, then a day later, then 2 days, then a week. That pattern? It's how your brain goes. Oh, I guess this is important. Let me keep it. Most students read something once and then try to remember it a month later. And of course it's gone. But if you gently remind your brain at the right times, it moves the info from short-term to long-term without even feeling like effort. It's like training memory muscles. And once you get the rhythm of it, studying feels way lighter because things actually stick. But hold on, because the next part is where it gets even more powerful. Because now we're getting into energy, focus, and the one silent killer that ruins your entire study vibe without you even realizing it. So here's something most students completely ignore: their energy. You can have the best notes, the smartest plan, even the most aesthetic setup. But if your mind is tired or your body's drained, none of it will work. Focus isn't just a mindset. It's physical too. And it starts with the basics: sleep, water, food, movement. You can't expect your brain to remember a single thing if it's running on caffeine and 3 hours of sleep. That foggy feeling when you're reading the same sentence 10 times? That's not lack of motivation. That's your brain begging for fuel. A 20-minute walk, a glass of water, or even just a stretch can reset your whole focus. This isn't just soft advice. Your brain literally needs oxygen, glucose, and rest to function. If you treat your body like a machine, don't be surprised when it breaks down mid-chapter. The most focused students aren't just disciplined, they're energized. And if you want to keep going strong, this next tip is your anchor. Because now it's time to talk about how to stop distractions from stealing your attention every 5 minutes, and finally study without checking your phone every 10 seconds. Let's talk about distractions. Because honestly, this is where most people lose the battle without even realizing it. You sit down with every good intention, but suddenly your phone lights up, and before you know it, you're 15 scrolls deep into reels about productivity, ironically. And don't lie, we've all done it. But here's the thing. Your brain has limits. Every time you switch tasks, from studying to checking a message, even for just a second, your focus resets. That means even a tiny distraction costs you way more than you think. So the smartest thing you can do? Create a space where your brain has no option but to focus. That might mean putting your phone in another room, or using apps that block social media, or even studying with someone who keeps you accountable. Whatever works, just remove the choice to drift. Because once you protect your focus, you realize how little time it actually takes to get things done. It's not about studying more, it's about studying undisturbed. And speaking of working smart, what if I told you there's a way to make boring subjects feel lighter, faster, and actually more fun to study? That's what's coming next. Here's a little secret no one teaches you in school. If something feels boring, it's not always your fault. Sometimes the way the content is presented just doesn't match your brain. And that's where creativity comes in. You have to personalize your study method. Turn the boring textbook chapter into a story. Use analogies that make sense to you, not just what the teacher said. Make weird little acronyms, use colors that actually mean something to your mind, or even record yourself explaining the concept and listen to it like a podcast later. Your brain loves patterns, visuals, movement, so give it those things. When you start learning in your own language, your own style, suddenly even the hardest subjects feel lighter. It's not childish, it's genius. Because the more personal it feels, the deeper it goes. And let's be honest, we've all made the perfect timetable, felt amazing, and then ignored it completely. So next up, we're talking about how to actually stick to that schedule. The one you built to change your life, but never followed through. Let's be honest, making a timetable is the easiest part. You open a fresh page, color code your subjects, plan the perfect week, and for a second you actually feel like your life is together. But then reality hits. The first hour passes, you're already behind. Motivation disappears, and suddenly that perfect plan is just another page you never opened again. Sound familiar? That's because we try to build routines based on fantasy, not our real habits. You don't need a strict military-style schedule. You need a flexible system that works with you, not against you. Start small. Plan your day around your energy, not someone else's. Build in buffer time. Leave space for life. And most importantly, don't expect perfection. What matters isn't whether you followed every hour, it's whether you showed up at all. The timetable isn't meant to trap you, it's meant to guide you. And the more you stick to even a part of it, the more confident you feel, and that feeling builds momentum. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing something every single day. And remember, success doesn't come from doing everything perfectly. It comes from doing the right things consistently. If you apply even half of what you learned today, you're already steps ahead of who you were yesterday. This video wasn't just for watching, it's for action. So if you're serious about leveling up your study game, make sure to like, share, and hit subscribe. Because this is exactly where better habits begin.